Welcome to Crosstown Cardboard, episode 5. I can hardly believe it with me, Carmine, and Craig. You can't see me, John Cena, if you're watching on a Crosstown Cardboard YouTube. And this one is a little bit different, but it's using Craig's expertise as a teacher and a soccer coach because we're breaking down a little bit of the World Cup and making it accessible to get into the soccer card market for a lot of people like me who aren't really in that space, but are interested in the big stars. And of course, the World Cup starting up November 20th in Qatar. The U.S. group is Group B with England, Iran, United States, and Wales. And so, Craig, too much of my broadcasters coming out. I want to pass this to you as the soccer coach and high school teacher. What are we looking out for in the World Cup, and how do people who aren't in that card market get a little bit more into it?
Good to see you, Carmine. I actually, speaking of the John Cena reference, I ran into him in San Diego about 5 summers ago from a distance, but there was like an acknowledgement. And my biggest regret was not seeing him from afar and doing one of these. So
It's a good thing you didn't actually run into him like physically, because you're an athletic guy. We're both D3 athletes, but I don't know if that would have gone well.
Yeah. I don't know if we've mentioned that, the D3 athlete connection, but that makes us even, special bond. But
Yeah.
soccer, World Cup, it's less than 2 weeks away, which is unbelievable. And it's funny listening to people say, what's that going to do to soccer cards? And it's not like all of a sudden we're just going to see this huge increase in prices, but at the very least, there's going to be eyes on it, right? So I am not one who like prospects like crazy. My friend Jeremy, who's downtown soccer cards, good friend of mine in New York City, he knows everything about the prospects, the Americans. I keep it real simple. I stick to the names that everybody knows. So
Okay.
my plan for today was I want to talk about really 5 popular names that you're going to hear during the World Cup and figure out a way to get the average collector who maybe doesn't love soccer to understand the players that to looking out for and how to collect. And there's one set in particular that I really want to highlight that I think is going to make a lot of sense to people.
Okay. Man, I think you might have a future in TV news like me, or TV sports, Craig, because that was quite the tease. I'm sticking around until before that. We wanted to talk about our new pickups, and you got something back from PSA that you wanted to highlight with a few of those possibly current Mount Rushmore dudes in there.
Actually, 2 guys I was going to reference today I got back, but it's funny. One of the early episodes, I alluded to how every time I do the $100 service at PSA, I've always had a lot of luck. I'll always submit 2, maybe 3 cards at a time, and my gem rate's been spot on.
Okay.
This time I submitted 2 cards. It was my Erling, and I'll start with the lesser of the 2. Cristiano Ronaldo, match worn patch card, 3 colors.
That's nice.
The green, the black, and the red from the Portugal jersey. And this is gold from Chronicles. It is Chronicles, but nonetheless, it is match worn. And this is the gold out of 10. I paid, I think, $400 for this raw. And it looks really clean. It's a thick card, obviously, because it's a memorabilia card. So you take a chance submitting it. And I'll take a 9 on a match worn patch all day of Ronaldo.
And I remember I tried to get that off you, Craig. I tried to buy that off you before you submitted it, and you told me, like the Dikembe, you said, no.
No, I trust my eyes. It looks good to submit, and now it's in a nice case. But the big winner was this 2020-21 Topps Chrome Bundesliga. So they make Topps Chrome Champions League and then Topps Chrome product just for the German First League, the Bundesliga. And this is an Erling Haaland numbered 1 out of 10. And this is a card I've talked about before that I got for my 30th birthday raw. It looked okay. There was a little something corner over here, but I took a chance. I said, you know what? I want it slabbed up anyway. PSA was very good to me. Erling Haaland, red refractor, 2nd year Topps Chrome, PSA 10. I know it's not the rookie card, but the 1st year red refractor and a 10 sold for $150K.
Oh, wow.
It is ridiculous to even think about. So a 2nd year red refractor PSA 10, not a bad one to own.
Now, let me ask you, since you threw out a figure, you told me that you had boots on the ground recently at the Dallas card show, and that was just this past weekend. What do you think the value is on which, by the way, is that Borussia Dortmund?
Yes.
I'm a soccer guy. Soccer guy, Craig.
Yeah.
Soccer guy alert.
He doesn't have Man City cards yet. But my good buddy, Adam Schraman, also a New York City guy. I got to show love to my New York City people.
Let's go.
He is the guy if you have any questions on vintage soccer. but I saw he was in Dallas. I said, hey, you know what? I just got this red refractor PSA 10 back. Do me a favor. If you see anything similar, holler at me, take a picture. Let me know what they're asking.
Right.
So somebody had the same card in a gold sapphire numbered out of 50, and their ask was 2.2K. This is numbered out of 10. Somebody else had a Topps Chrome Merlin in a BGS 9, and they were asking 2K. What you want to value this at, I don't know, but it at least gives me a frame of reference of what other people are asking for similar cards. But given what I'm into this at, I definitely feel good about that. I don't plan on moving it, but it's good to know that it holds some value.
Okay. And unfortunately, he will not be in the World Cup.
No, plays for Norway.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're going to get back to those guys in just a second. Can I go ahead with some of my pickups?
Talk to me. You stay active.
All right. I'm always active. I'm always buying. Actually, I've been buying a lot recently because, like I talked about last week, I'm headed to the San Francisco card show. So I'm excited to see what.
I got some friends who are going to pop by and say what's up to you.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That'll be fun
must go
because a
through.
friend of yours, is a good person.
Of course.
I mean, I'm pretty trusting that that's the case. So I'm excited for that. That's I'll be there on Saturday the 12th, set up at a table, and I believe it's at the South San Francisco Conference Center. So supposed to be like more than a couple hundred tables. Spud Webb will be there, so watch out. But speaking of point guards, I just picked up this Gilbert Arenas Topps Chrome Refractor Gold, so color match with the Wizards jersey. Hibachi.
We'll take it.
2005 PSA 10, numbered at a 99. So pretty cool. I'm getting more into the refractors recently. A Chris Webber of that year, PSA 10, which was a pop 3. This is a pop 1. The Chris Webber went for like 225. So I'm assuming Hibachi's a little bit more. Jerry West, PSA 10 Mosaic, sticker auto, but it's a pop 3. Still pretty cool. Local pride, Marcus Mariota, Heisman Trophy winner, of course, from the University of Oregon Ducks, which I'm now in Southern Oregon. RPA, Immaculate, on-card auto at a 49, PSA 8.
He's still starting, right?
Starting for the Falcons.
Okay.
They are 4-5 now, so they're doing pretty well. Clyde, the Glide Drexler, and you know how much we both love this set, Craig, the Skybox autographics. I wish he was in a Blazers uniform, since that's what he's identified as. And I always love guys being in their own uniform that you'd remember them in.
Yep.
But, still went to the Rockets. And this is an SGC 9.5 on-card auto Skybox.
It's like I can never have a Patrick Ewing Magic card.
Yeah. I mean, we won't bring that up for Big Pat. This is a D Wade Sweet Spot auto, baseball auto. Remember the year they did this?
Set.
Yeah, that's right in our wheelhouse as a kid. That's 2004. I just had to check. So that's pretty cool. And then this Scottie Pippen Atomic Refractor from Bowman's Best, PSA 8.
Nice.
Kind of cool. And you're right, I have been active. I didn't actually realize until this.
Save some cards for the rest of us.
I know, right? No, but I'm trying to stock up before the San Francisco. This is a Kyrie flawless on-card auto at a 15 with a really cool patch. I got this before his recent controversy, his most recent controversy, because he's always doing and saying something. But that's out of 15. Really cool patch. And I got this Dirk Silhouettes. Super cool set. I know you probably like the Silhouette set.
I actually have owned that card. It's out of 49.
Yes.
So I had to go double check. It wasn't that exact serial number, but I have owned that exact card and remember enjoying it very much. On card, game worn.
Yep. On card, game worn, and that is a deadly combo for both of us. So that's pretty cool that we both own that card. Of course, I'm always looking for Larry Legend, my favorite guy of all time. There he is in the back with that flawless auto on my background on the YouTube, which we show off so many cards. I really suggest watching on the YouTube.
If you own a Larry Bird on-card auto, hit up my boy Carmine.
Yeah. And so this one's out of 50, Panini Preferred. And this is the last one before I have a special surprise for you. This is kind of cool. You know, I always like well-known players no matter what sport it is. And this is a Naomi Osaka, my first ever tennis card that I've owned. But it's an SP Rookie Authentics, numbered out of 199. And it's like a reprint of the 0304 NBA draft class.
SB
Rookie autos.
Authentic? SB Authentic, right? I think
This
that's
is
what it's
SP
supposed to look
Authentic,
like.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
on here it says 0304 Rookie Authentics. So it's kind of cool that it
Good card. Naomi Osaka is like well known too. You know, it's almost
well
like
known.
athletics pop culture cross
Yes.
town.
That's what I look for too. And she, beat Serena to win a major. I think she's got 4. She's taken a step away for mental health.
Yeah.
So if she comes
Respect
back,
that. Respect that.
yeah, and I respect that break that she's taking. And so we'll see if if she does come back, that card might pop too. So big upside there. And then this is the one I wanted to show you, this New York Knicks for our boys. This is Topps Chrome Danilo Gallinari,
Orange
numbered out of
refractor.
499.
Orange always looks good with the Knicks stuff.
Yeah. So you showed off your David Lee last week, so I had to come with a little Knicks. And I have
we got a Knicks flavor to us.
We do. We don't want to nix it. We want to keep it going. But sorry, bro, I had to throw that
Zing.
in. But okay, so that was a lot of pickups, but hopefully we got some people who like to look at the new pickups, especially our New York Knicks lovers. And so now we're going to get into the meat of this episode, which I'm really excited to see how you break down the World Cup stuff and who to look out for, the sets, the players. So the floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, I have a few notes written down, but I kind of it's mostly off the cuff, right?
That's when you're at your best.
So I'm thinking about how this World Cup, what that's going to do to the sport of soccer first, and then soccer cards. And we're all going to hear Messi, and Argentina is one of the favorites for the World Cup, and Messi's going to be a star. All eyes are going to be on Messi. If his game is going to be on TV, it's appointment television you're going to watch. I think once everyone gets their eyes on Messi and sees like this global icon that he is, and actually watches him play, right? Think about how many people in the hobby probably don't watch soccer and they know of Messi, but haven't actually seen him play. Like, he is a joy to watch. And then there's rumors of him coming to the MLS, and all of a sudden Messi's in America, and it's just this snowballing effect. But, you got Messi and Ronaldo, right? Ronaldo plays for Portugal. Portugal also has I would say, chance to make a deep run. And this is probably their last World Cups. Okay. And then right up there also is Neymar. So Neymar plays for Brazil, which is the betting favorite. And Neymar has, I would say, aged well the way he's played. Like, he's 30 and he's still a little bit flashy in the way he dribbles and takes players on, but he's in form right now. That's a soccer term. Being in form is like you are in shape, you are feeling good, you're playing at the top of your game. Neymar is definitely in form this year for PSG. Him and Messi are teammates for PSG in the French league, and Neymar plays for Brazil, a betting favorite. So these are all familiar names.
Right.
I liken Messi to Kobe. I liken Pele to Michael Jordan, right? Possibly the GOAT. Some say Messi's the GOAT. And I liken, love it, great card, a Pele autograph on the screen. And I liken Ronaldo to LeBron. A little more, I would say, polarizing. Okay. Not everyone, right? I think not everyone universally loves LeBron. He's got his haters out there. And I think Ronaldo's kind of the same way, with just like the antics.
Okay. And maybe a little dramatic, asking for fouls, complaining, and that kind of. It's more like on the field and on the court controversy. Although there has been some off the field for both too.
And I think I liken Neymar to Kevin Durant was one that I came up with, where has been polarizing at time in their careers, but as they age is still putting up the numbers, and every time he's on the field there's going to be an impact.
Right.
But the young guy, Mbappe, right? So Mbappe at the last World Cup, he won the Golden Boy Award for the best young player. 19 years old, already has a World Cup title under his belt. He's only 23. And I liken him to Giannis, someone who like a pretty easy comparison if we're talking soccer to basketball, because he's already accomplished so much and he's so young. And I don't look at Giannis as a basketball player and think he's like super skilled, kind of like the way someone like Kyrie is super skilled and finesse with the ball. The
Right.
same way I think like Neymar, the way he dribbles, is super skilled and finesse. Mbappe is more gonna like kill you with speed and power.
Yeah.
Um, the reason I mentioned these four names, Messi, Mbappe, Ronaldo, Neymar, is because they were all featured in the 2017 Topps Chrome Soccer set.
Okay.
One of the most important sets of all time. Top still has the soccer licenses, and 2017 was the first year they made Topps Chrome. Now, we all know Topps Chrome from old basketball sets, baseball sets, football sets. It's
Right.
still around in soccer. And why the 2017 Topps Chrome set is so important is it looks incredible. If you want to pull up maybe the picture of the Neymar, but
Yes.
it's a fun set, and each player in the set, as we see in Cresco Card's video, who that you're going to see if you're watching this video on YouTube. There are only 9 variations of each card. You got your base, you got your refractor, you got your purple refractor out of 250, blue out of 150, green out of 99, gold out of 50, orange out of 25, red out of 10, and the coveted superfractor 1 of 1. So there's not
Okay.
so many parallels that it's hard to keep track. And these parallels, as I've mentioned, are so cool because the color takes up the entire background. So sometimes where maybe like a gold refractor, like the whole card's not really gold, it's like kind of slivers of it. You got an entire gold background with the player in like the forefront.
Okay.
So the parallels have a lot of shine, and Topps Chrome has continued to be a product year after year. So I think this Topps Chrome is a good bridge. I would say a term used in education is cross curricular, which is when you kind of combine two disciplinaries, like something that happens in math that might also happen in English. Topps Chrome, especially this year, is kind of a good way to branch the sports people are familiar with, basketball and football, and these shiny colored parallels to a very popular soccer product that they continue to make year after year.
Okay. So you're saying like if you're teaching iambic pentameter poetry in English, that's going to apply to math because you have the number system, the syllables, the breakdown, and that kind of thing. And I really liked what you said as far as using this set, Craig, as a bridge, because how many of us, especially like around our age, like right around 30, are like starving for Topps Chrome because with Panini taking over in basketball and football, we haven't seen Topps Chrome for, years, almost a decade. And so, I mean, I even like it. Plus, your comparisons seem like they were spot on, knowing a little bit about soccer. But like you said, with that bridge, that seems like a great way to get into collecting soccer if you wanted to.
I would say, yeah, and I would say Topps Chrome Soccer is a pretty good. And when I say Topps Chrome, I'm talking about the UEFA Champions League, which, if anyone's unfamiliar, the Champions League is the European Championship. So all the teams that play in the French League, the Spanish League, the English Premier League, it's all one big tournament to determine the winner of Europe. And so UEFA is the European Champions League. This is Topps Chrome UEFA. They do make Topps Chrome Bundesliga as well. They make Topps Chrome MLS, but we're really just talking about Champions League for the sake of argument here. And it is Mbappe's rookie year. They make it year after year. And I would say it's the equivalent to like Prism basketball or Prism football. Whereas you got your other Opti Chrome brands like Select and Optic in soccer. If Topps Chrome is the main brand, you also have Topps Chrome Merlin and you have Topps Finest. So you have,
Okay.
and that's why I think Topps Chrome is a good entryway because if you figure out like a color match or maybe a color parallel you really like, maybe you could see if Topps Finest has a messy blue refractor that you really like. Or I saw a Holland Topps Chrome Merlin, which is a different brand, red refractor. So if you like the shiny, you like the low number parallels, the Topps Chrome products are a way to start to invest into players you like, Messi, Mbappe, Ronaldo, and so on.
Now, is it kind of similar, Craig, with Topps Chrome and the hierarchy of like Topps Chrome, Topps Finest, and where does the third brand Merlin rank? Like where's the classification? Like in basketball, if you have Prism and then NT Flawless, and those are kind of toward the top. And where does where's the hierarchy as far as soccer cards?
I mean, this is just one person's opinion here, but I think like Prism, it's clear as, and we're just talking about the chromium products, right? Forget
Yeah,
about National Treasures, Flawless, these high end, just
right.
stuff with color and low number parallels. It's like Prism is without question number one. Topps Chrome is without question, the most. We're not going to count Prism World Cup because that's once every 4 years. We're talking about products that come out every year, and I think
Okay.
Optic and Select is a matter of opinion. Unless I'm wrong there, I don't think there's a clear number two. Similar, some like Topps Finest, some like Topps Chrome Merlin, but you have your options.
Okay. I wanted to talk about the breakdowns of the parallels with like something like this. Like it seems like with the Topps Chrome 2017, like what you're saying, and I'm showing on the screen 2014 Prism, which a lot of people, including myself, are really love because of the emphasis on just the player and the background and the way they pop off the card. And these are both Dr. J, Julius Irving, with a doctorate from the University of Massachusetts. Uh, and then he took it onto operating on opponents on the court, of course. But here's a PSA 10 and a variation from the same year. But just to kind of continue that basketball comparison, and I find it interesting, though, of course, gold is the standard for Prism and a lot of other products Select that have numbered out of 10 as gold. And what you're saying is Topps Chrome Soccer numbered out of 10 is red and numbered out of 50 is gold. So that's
Yeah.
kind of an interesting difference there too.
Yeah, that's always how Topps does it across all sports, but that's why
Okay.
I have it's in the other room, but now I have this Holland red. This is from Topps Chrome Bundesliga, and I have that Mbappe red from Topps Chrome Merlin. So it's two different ways I was able to acquire red refractors of Erling Haaland and Mbappe. We're not going to talk too much about Erling Haaland just because he's not in the World Cup, but my NBA comparison is Luka. Not necessarily,
Okay,
not
nice.
necessarily style of play, but it's like if you're investing in Erling Haaland the same way you're investing in Luka, even though they're young, it's like, okay, like these are obviously first ballot, unanimous Hall of Famers. They've already shown it's almost like not even prospecting at this point. Like you're buying proven players at a young age, but
Okay.
they haven't quite won too much yet, but the stats are there. But going back to the Topps Chrome and why I think this is such a great set is, and I know you'll show this on the YouTube, but here's a Neymar, for example, in his purple PSG kit. And you see how the purple background takes up the entire card,
Nice.
right? It's not just like a sliver of purple. So if you could get a nice color match, I mean, it pops. It's really nice. The colors are all numbered. And like I said, starting with the base to the super, there's only 9 different versions of each card from 2017 Topps Chrome Soccer. So it makes the parallels a little more fun to find and chase.
Yeah. And I love the breakdown of those numbers too. I mean, 50, 25, 10, 1 of 1. And for some reason, I don't know if this is just me, but unless it's at a 25 or at a 99, I'm usually turned off by it because it's just like a weird, like, you have a quarter for 25, like, a quarter of a dollar, George Washington. And then you have a 99, which is right at, right next to 100, which is breaking news for everybody, out
Good.
there.
Yeah, I was going
As
to say
far,
really good number line placement there.
as far as the math, I know I'm really revealing a lot of new info. But if it's like out of 49, I mean, the Dirk I got is out of 49, but it's kind of like, eh. And if it's out of 75, if it's out of 35, if it's out of 149, I'm not as likely to like it because it's just I'm like trying to figure out why is it numbered like that. And then out of 25 is where I feel like you really get into the rare territory with a card. Like these could be, if they're 10s, PSA 10s or BGS 95, you could be coming in on pop 1 or very low pop territory. So I don't know. That's just a weird little. Now, since we were on the topic of the different refractors and parallels.
Yeah, that's also the second George Washington reference that's been made on this podcast. So does that put George Washington on the Mount Rushmore of people who have been mentioned multiple times?
Oh my gosh. Is this like Mount Rushmoreception? I mean, we're
Yep.
like
Right up there with Cousins
diagramming.
Collectibles, Rob, the sports card therapist, and my good friend Andrew Mung. Multiple reference people on these podcasts.
Yes, and Dave from Extraordinary Cards. We have Mikey's cards. We might as well. Now, speaking of Mount Rushmore of soccer, Craig, I got this Pele that I flashed on the screen real quick. Leaf Auto, numbered out of 35. And like you said, there's no debate about this guy being on the Mount Rushmore. Doesn't he have like 3 World Cups for Brazil?
He has won multiple. I Should have probably fact checked that, but hey, you're the one with the Pele autograph, so maybe you should have
I know
done your homework there.
I'm
But that
catching
sounds
you
about
off
right.
guard. I know.
He actually played for the Cosmos at Icon on Randall's Island, where I have soccer practice 3 times a week. Me and
Nice. Okay,
Pele,
so
me and Pele, one and the same.
you can get some practice used turf or practice used pitch, as they call it, for Pele.
You see, you are learning the soccer lingo. Now we got soccer lingo, we got the popular soccer sets, but the only reason that's the only set that I mentioned is because I think that's like a good entryway. Like once you look at the 2017 Topps Chrome parallels, you're like, wow, these are very attractive looking cards. That opens up to all the other years of Topps Chrome, and then you see Topps Finest, all the various years of Topps Chrome Merlin, and then you can get a sense of what soccer cards are out there just with the players I mentioned. Again, Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Neymar, Holland, and I didn't even mention the US guys. Maybe we could save that for next week.
Okay, because the World Cup still will not have started, so we don't want to spill the beans on everything on the first one. But I have a question for you because, as you know, and I'll pull this up on our YouTube right now, a photo of it. I had this really nice Ronaldo auto, and it was in a great grade. I believe it was a PSA 10, and it was low pop. But here's my thing though with soccer. It was probably like a $2,000, 2,500. I ended up trading it for a flawless game used Magic Johnson auto with a patch, which I'll also pull up on the screen here. What's the deal with a lot of the soccer autos being sticker? Is it just because you have to ship them across the pond to a lot of these guys and so they can't really be in person with a Panini representative? Or because we're both like, we really love on-card autos, and so the sticker kind of bothers me with a lot of the soccer cards.
I have no idea, but if you forced me to make a conjecture about this, I would. In my head, I'm picturing when the Panini has on-card autographs. They're just sitting in a room watching someone sign these cards.
Right.
And or no, I guess maybe they send them the cards to sign. I don't see a world where Cristiano Ronaldo is sitting in a room with a Panini rep signing a bunch
Yeah.
of cards, or him dedicating the time to signing a bunch of cards and sending them back. I have no
Yeah.
idea. That's just
My guess would be, yeah, because I think usually when it's on card, it's in person, either after a game or media day practice or whatever. And then, I mean, that's tough to do with somebody who's playing in Europe and then, playing for Portugal, playing for Argentina, playing in France. You don't
it
really
is,
get that many opportunities.
and it's important to note. I don't know the exact sets, but Messi, and it was pretty much proven true. I have to do my homework a little better. There were a couple sets in 2018 where it turns out Messi's autographs were not legitimate.
Oh, no.
And it's you could say, okay, just don't buy those particular sets. Like I want to say Eminence, and I forgot the other one, but like some high-end sets. And it's kind of turned me personally off from wanting to buy Messi autographs because if some of them out there are fake, what's to say about others? So that's why with Messi, I stick to low numbered, cool colored stuff. I try to get golds because golds in soccer, like the Topps products, are out of 50, so they cost a little less than they would out of 10. So golds are another way to get into some fun looking parallels.
And Craig, I'm telling you, you have a future in broadcasting, like I said before, because we're going to go from one guy who had some inauthentic autos to another guy who had the auto pen situation, and that
You
is
are
Dak Prescott.
you're the segue master.
Watch
How
out,
do you do
because
it?
I always
How do
have
you
to
do
try
it?
to think on the fly. I think of two things that make sense next to each other, and I try to make a bridge, like you said, bridging the gap with Topps Chrome for soccer people to start collecting soccer. So here's our Dak Prescott rookie ticket auto, BGS 9.5 out of 10. It has a 10 subgrade, two 9.5s, and a 9 on the corners. So, of course, this is, a lot of people consider this the card. You see Tom Brady's rookie ticket auto going for in the millions.
Staying
You know,
power,
yeah. And I
right?
mean, that's like the iconic card if you like this rookie
Contenders,
quarterback.
contenders, rookie on card auto. It's been around
Yeah.
since what was it, 98? So
Yeah. And exactly. And so I'll show you what I traded for that, and I want to get your breakdown of what you think. I traded for that Dak Prescott rookie ticket auto contenders BGS 95. I traded a Nikola Jokic on card auto select out of 60, which I guess I'm a hypocrite because I said I don't really like odd numbered cards, but
Yeah,
it's the two-time, MVP. I really like his game on card auto. And so I feel like, especially for both of us, if we really like a card or a guy, sometimes you can make exceptions. So I got that Jokic, and here's a better picture of it popping up. So I traded that and my boy Magic Dream Team from the 1992 Olympics, of course. 44-point average margin of victory in Barcelona, Spain for those 8 games, the gold medal, absolute dominance. So I love the Dream Team, USA Basketball, flawless on-card auto, numbered out of 10, sealed, so the gold. So I traded those 2 for the Dak rookie ticket auto, kind of making a play on the Cowboys, maybe as the football NFL season has just hit the midseason and we're going into kind of a playoff push. And the Cowboys actually, trying to contend with the Eagles and especially the Giants. Who would have thought that? But of course, our New York guys, they fight hard. So what do you think of that? Me trading the Jokic and the Magic for the Dak and the possible upside that comes with it.
Yeah, I would say it's the potential upside that I like. The Magic autograph is great. The Jokic card is cool, and it's his rookie year. Is that correct?
No, second year.
Oh, it's not. Okay. So you're not going to get much growth with those, and I think you're hoping that the Cowboys run away with the NFC East. Then you're going to see some uptick in the playoffs, and that would be your opportunity to sell and hopefully do okay with it. Right. And I know you're getting new Magic autographs what feels like weekly. That's just what you do.
Magic and Bird. It's
there'll be others, but this one in particular, I would imagine the 9.510 is pretty low pop. So
yeah,
it'll be fun. I have a little rooting interest in the Cowboys.
All right, let's go.
Even if they lose, and this is what I tell people about sports gambling as opposed to card collecting. Even if the Cowboys lose, you still have this card, right? Instead of betting on the Cowboys, no matter what, you come away with a consolation prize, regardless of how they do. But for your sake, I hope they make a killing of a run and you make a little something off of it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I love having that rooting interest too. I got this other Dak, speaking of the Cowboys, this flawless game used, numbered out of 15, on card auto with a 2-color patch. And I can't really find much game used stuff of Dak. So there's a lot of player worn, but as you know, we're, big game used guys. We really respect the closeness, the proximity to the game. And just going back to that Dak too, I mean, I usually like, another shout out, our boy John from Behind the Diamond on Long Island, major show promoter. We were Instagramming back and forth, and great guy to learn from. My goodness, doing it full time. He's been in the hobby for almost as long as we've been alive, in the late 90s.
Former Division II hooper.
Really?
Yes, he won up to us by 1 division.
Oh my gosh, we have to have him on for a college soiree. Not a college party. We're too old for that, but a Division non-1 athlete power
/
card collector. And so, but he was great to talk to. He's a listener of the podcast, so that's great.
Way.
We're hitting the New York market. Yeah, he was like, yeah, bro. I've listened to 3 out of 4 episodes. It's great. Keep it coming. I'm like, let's go. So nice. That's great to hear from one of the titans of the hobby that we're going well. And so we were talking about the importance of Hall of Fame autos, because he loves Hall of Famers, John Stockton, Malone. And, he has 10 showcases he sets up at shows, tables that you've
he's got sections of Magic Johnson autographs, sections of John Havlicek autographs. It's pretty awesome, I got to say.
Yeah, and that's great. And so we were bonding over that in addition to being New York guys. And so it's funny because this Dak purchase to me is like prospecting, except, not to the level of like buying a Kobe White or an Evan Mobley or guys like that. I mean, this is a proven dude. I just feel like if he finally hits the level where everybody's thought the Cowboys could be at for several years, you could see a great thing. And I always love buying the iconic, recognizable card of a guy, even if they're not the top guy. If it's the top card, you like that guy, you're going to want this card. So
Yes.
that's kind of the way I think about it too, is balancing out which guy you're getting, the quality of that player versus the quality of the card you're getting of a lower player.
Right. That's a top 10% Dak Prescott card, whereas the Magic Johnson autograph is in the realm of Magic autographs. There are plenty, let's say, better than that. Although better
Yeah.
is all subjective, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got football, we got football. And so what else do you think, partner? I mean, you really educated me and all of us on the soccer card market, made it accessible. Anything else about, the Mount Rushmore of guys or the World Cup that you want to hit on?
World Cup. When we talk about the U.S. guys next week, but I can't believe it's happening. Here's a Brendan Aronson. Here's a guy to look out for. Just a cheap slab numbered stadium club, because I'm doing a Whatnut show next week, so I'm gonna have cool cheap inventory for people to come get some steals. But before we go, I just remembered I have to finish a college recommendation letter. I want to shout out Vadim, who is Bagels and Wax on Instagram, and he owns a bagel store on Long Island called the Bagel Master in Syosset. I was just there this past weekend because he's a hobby friend of mine. He is going to donate some cards to Card Club, because not only is he an amazing bagel store owner, but he does a lot of wax and ripping and breaks and stuff like that. You walk into the bagel store, not only can you get a bagel with schmear, but you can get wax and blasters to open. I mean, shouting out people who are innovative in the hobby, you could get bagels delivered and you could add on blaster boxes to your delivery. So imagine
What?
a Saturday morning with your kids, you get bagels, you order some cream cheese, maybe you get some orange juice out of a carton on the side. Maybe you feel like splurging and you get a little whitefish salad with it. You could also get a blaster box.
What? I've never
How
heard of
fun is
that.
that? How fun is that? So
That's a
shout
lot
out
of fun.
Vadim, shout out Bagels and Wax. Very innovative, I thought.
That's awesome. And Craig, real quick before we wrap up, you got bagels and wax, and you have cards and coffee, which is right next to Bleecker Trading. When you step into these, and you kind of just touched on it, when you step into these multifaceted stores that are offering food, drinks, and cards, I've never experienced. I would love to once I
Cards and
visit you and I
Coffee.
go back home.
Cards and Coffee doesn't sell coffee. And I've been in the store
Oh,
when people have walked in and asked, and those are my friends there. So whoever's working, whether it's like Aaron or Ben, I tell them every time, I'm like, hey, blown opportunity.
yeah. So where did that name come from? Do you know?
I think there's one out in LA. Maybe the one in LA must sell coffee, but I don't know for sure. Haven't been out there.
Yeah, like cards and coffee. Okay. But the bagel place, we do know they have bagels,
Bagels and Wax, the name does not lie.
but they don't sell singles.
Just wax. I mean, you could buy single bagels.
Okay. Just don't mix up your order and order a blaster bagel and a soccer schmear.
I see what you did there.
You don't want to do that, because then you're looking like the co-host of Crosstown Cardboard, thinking that you can get a coffee at a card store.
Carmine, is the shows this weekend?
Yes, the San Francisco.
Yes. I will be living vicariously through you. Have a great time. If you're on the West Coast listening to this, say hi to Carmine. Take a look at his Dak Prescott autograph amongst the many Hall of Fame autographs he has.
Yes. Let's go. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what it's like out there. And I have several, San Francisco, being in Southern Oregon, I have a lot of San Francisco, like Jerry Rice, rookie, and Joe Montana auto. And we'll see what the market is like, because as our buddy sports card therapist Rob mentioned, and I think he was spot on, that the hobby is shrinking a little bit, and especially the people willing to spend cash on cards rather than trade is shrinking a little bit. And our other boy, Cards by Joe, always polling on Instagram to see the lay of the land of the hobby. And
Joe's my guy.
yeah, and he's great. And so I really love and hopefully we're bringing the same somewhat of insight, I guess, at least opinions and different hobby takes from another voice, and a unique age group, I guess, that isn't always heard from. It kind of, bridging the gap between people who are prospecting and people who are only Hall of Fame, and we're kind of in between as far as the young men collectors, I'd say. So
there you go, and hopefully take something out of this. Anything.
yeah, and we're growing. We're trying to do our best, and we're definitely putting some work into this podcast. So thanks to everybody who stuck around for 5 episodes. If you haven't, and this is your first one, try us out, and see what the other references to past episodes were. The Mount Rushmore one was really cool. Our Mount Rushmore of card qualities that we look for. And so, yeah, I'll have to bring back a report.
Yep.
I'll be working off the job, but I'll bring back a report and tell you how San Francisco was.
Next Tuesday's all you.
All right, big dog. And the U.S. men's soccer team.
Your
Pulisic collection is pretty wild.
Yeah, we'll talk about your card show next week. We'll get into some U.S. men's national team cards, and let's have a day.
All right, bro. What do you think? Are we all set?
We out.
Episode 5. Episode 6 coming next week.